All right.
Yes, sir. What up,
All
Doc
right.
G?
Yeah.
Hello,
Aga
hello.
nyo
Aga niya. Hello to everyone on YouTube. Naka-order na
pala,
pa kayo ng El Grande Americano niyo?
Dapat pala batiin natin sila na parang AI. Hello, guys!
Hey guys,
Yun.
how's it going?
Yun.
Consciousness.
Hello, Ina.
Hello, Ina.
Wala daw bang episode ng Play natin kasi good mood si Emil Nate?
Actually, he's in a
Lately?
foul mood.
Lately, he's been riding on my coattails.
Yeah.
I got the rants.
Yeah.
Parang
And you're the
gusto niyo
OG.
na atakihin si Emil eh.
You're the OG ranter. I learned from you.
Oh, the Roma rants. That's right. Init today.
Yeah, I mean, it's the start of the summer season.
Yeah. Last week, no, just a few days ago, it was still kind of cold.
Hey, Lance. Hello, what's up?
What up, Lance? How is everyone doing tonight?
Doing great. No, the Converge, the new speed is a game changer.
Paano?
Especially
Tingin
for Netflix. Kasi dati nagtitis pa ako yung sa malabo eh. Pag nakakonect sa
Ah.
VPN. Yeah. It's a VPN thing.
Interesting.
But you're right, bro. It's not my VPN. It's the internet. It's the internet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uy, si Doc G, papuntang history quiz night.
Hey,
Sino
Doc
ano?
G.
Yung ba yung TDT? Trivia Down Tuesdays.
Eh, Thursday ngayon eh.
Oh, that's what they're called. What up, Bruce?
Hey, Martin. Hello.
What's up, Martin?
Bruce. Hello as well. yung morning routine
Hello,
mo daw,
Julian.
Di ko na-book yung swimming pool namin sa Honda eh. Sorry.
How did you have a camera on you all throughout?
I wasn't.
He just set it up throughout the night.
No, I wasn't. Come on, guys. It's
Umakting. Umakting si
Yeah,
Ro.
syempre, yeah.
I wasn't sleeping. I wasn't recording all throughout the night. Naubusan na ako ng storage nun. Siyempre, parang acting lang ni Ashton Hall.
Yeah.
Imagine mo, 4-minute dive.
Oh yeah, that's a good question, Goose. It's unique. Stan, I don't know if you remember yung final play that the Pacers ran during the series against Boston last year. Na lahat silang apat galing sa other side of the court.
They ran a
at the
Hail
same
Mary?
time. No, they ran. Parang they ran a 4 verticals.
Ah, okay.
I don't know if Stan remembers it, but I do. It's unique.
I saw the
definitely
clip.
unique.
I saw the clip.
Yeah.
I don't kasi I just went straight to the championship.
Yeah.
I mean, syempre kasi, di ba? Your point guard is a quarterback.
Yeah. But definitely, that's it. I'm seeing more of it in college hoops, yung mga ganyan na unique out of timeout plays. So
Technically,
definitely
Hail Mary na siya eh. Kasi it's 4 vertical at the end of regulation, di ba?
Yeah. But it was from the side, but they ran the forwards. Tapos may nalibreng guy sa corner.
Oh, that's a Hail Mary.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's definitely unique in the NBA to see that in the NBA. That's a good question, Bruce. Glendale, are you gonna come back to defend? Ay, siya ba defending?
No, hindi nga.
Oh, no, that was it.
Please hear my music and please My name is Collar Cash Money Cannon.
What do we want to talk about?
Hey, this is the Cosmic Cactus, Paul London.
You're still just a kid. Hello, WWE Universe in the Philippines. This is Charlotte.
Because mommy is always on top.
What's going on? This is Xavier Woods, aka Austin Creed.
I'm home.
We are pretty deadly. Yes, boy. Yes, boy.
To say his name.
Amen. He appears.
Stan C, the voice of Philippine wrestling, University of the Philippines, Diliman.
Romoran, the fancy dad, University of the Philippines, Diliman.
Chino Diao, Best Gout Machine, San Sebastian College Recoletos, College of St. Benilde, De La Salle University, International Academy of Film and Television.
Emil Nate, small forward, the Ateneo de Naga University.
Rowan ASH, bad boy ng dance floor ng Quezon City, Central Scholar University, Manila.
I love you solo. Then you're listening.
You're listening.
And you're listening. And you're listening to the Wrestling Podcast. And you're listening to the Wrestling Podcast. To the Wrestling Podcast.
The Wrestling Podcast.
The Wrestling Podcast.
You're listening to the Wrestling Podcast. Yeah.
You are watching and listening to the longest running weekly episodic Filipino wrestling podcast. This is the Wrestling Podcast. Stan C, Romoran, and Emil Nate checking in for your regular weekly Thursday live stream. How is everybody? Thank you so much for joining us here on the pod as always, whether you're catching the live stream or the audio-only version and upload namin on Spotify or your favorite podcatcher apps. If you can, please leave a 5-star rating and follow the podcast as well on Spotify. It does so much for us, as in you have no idea. Sobrang kailangan namin yun. So please do hit that follow button and leave us a comment while you're at it. So much for us to plug as we head to WrestleMania season. And we got to start by thanking everyone for selling out our WrestleMania viewing party tickets. Let's put up the graphic, Jasper. No sense promoting it kasi sold out na siya. But we're letting you know that it's happening on April 20 and 21. Happy 420 at Skinny Mike's.
Ito. People are so... That's not the graphic. Yan, that's the graphic. People are still messaging the page asking whether magbubukas pa. I don't want to have to answer them by saying that it's not a matter of when magkakaroon ng bagong slots, but a matter of when matatapos yung renovations sa Skinny Mike. So we don't know. I don't want to disappoint anyone, and I'm not also going to take reservations in case in case the renovations finish. When the renovations finish, we'll open the slots and kayo na bahala magpatayan. But we do hope that the renovations do finish because we sure definitely want you, all of you, to come join us for the show. I'll say, it's nice to be, a small party, but it's not the spirit of WrestleMania, diba? So
also, we like money.
Yes, I was trying to avoid saying that, but okay. So pray to whatever God, whatever denomination you belong to.
Yeah.
Eat your vitamins, eat your vegetables, and sana matapos siya agad. I mean, we do have like a whole month, a little under a month pala, a month away. So it's possible, but we cannot make any promises. And the Skinny Mike's management has also not made any promises to me. So
yeah, ayaw rin nila maging film center yung diba, yung Skinny Mike's. So yeah. All right. Something we can plug though is our Quizimania, our 11th anniversary event happening on April 12th. That is the second Saturday of April at Skinny Mike's. We'll be having our semi-annual quiz night since we do it like twice a year, diba? We've got prizes that we are so stoked to give out, and hopefully yung defending champion natin magpakita this time around so that they can actually defend their title successfully or unsuccessfully. All right. So again, quiz night is happening on April 12th, second Saturday of the month at Skinny Mike's BGC.
Yeah, people have asked for a Saturday slot. So ito na.
Yeah.
We tried out the Friday slot. It was okay, but Saturdays are better.
Yep.
All right, Emil, let them know what they can be a part of if they join our vibrant patron community, just like Sina Bruce and Doc G, who got the dark joke.
Yeah, so the Discord community is always fun, and if you want in on that, all you got to do is subscribe to our Patreon program or our gang. It's patreon.com/wrestling podcast and gagnow.com/wrestling2xpod for as low as $5. So sobrang mura. It's very cheap, very affordable. Just a little price to pay to support the podcast and everything that we do here. But you'll get some benefits, you'll get some perks, of course. The Discord server, which is always fun to wake up and see people chit-chatting there every single day. Also, we got the review content of the weekly wrestling shows.
Do we?
Yeah, we
Do
gotta
we,
get
Emil?
back to that. I admit it's been a busy time for me, but I promise at some point this year.
Ito
I'm
na
gonna get
lang.
back to it.
Bagong perk.
Yeah, sige.
We released the sign-up form for the WrestleMania viewing party early to our patrons. So they got first dibs on the slots. So
you'll always
sino
get first dibs to everything.
Well,
everything.
now
not
you
just,
will.
Not just viewing parties, but first dibs to everything. So that's the new perk. And also, and again, by subscribing to Patreon or Gank, you're supporting the podcast, going strong in its 11th year. Happy anniversary to our podcast. Again, the links is patreon.com/wrestling podcast and gagnow.com/wrestling2xpod.
Hey,
Right?
by the way, I have it on good authority that people prefer to pay via Gap kasi Patreon, while great, medyo naguloko siya when it comes to cards, the credit cards and debit cards. So Gank is much better. You also got a package there for 3 months, so you can pay via credit card, debit card, GCash. So sobrang daming options, and it doesn't mess up. Go check that out.
All right. One last plug here. Let's put over the Converge Netflix bundle that Emil was just raving over nung pre-show.
Oh, sige, Emil, since you were raving about it on the pre-show.
Yes. So there's so many ways now to consume WWE content. Of course, Blast TV is still there. Just they're always telling you that WWE is still on Blast, and of course, Netflix. You can also consume WWE content via VPN, and the best way to consume the WWE via Blast or Netflix is through the new Converge bundle. The plans are right there. We got plan 1798, 1998, and 2298. So you'll get incredible upgrade, or if you're thinking of switching to Converge, you'll get incredible amount of internet storage. Not storage, but
There's speed.
Speed, the speed is there. 300 Mbps, so sobrang sulit na siya.
We were just talking about the speed.
Yeah.
On the pre-show.
Padalhan nga natin ng kape si Emil, Nate.
Yeah, I haven't had my coffee yet. Sorry, guys.
Wala
And you also
bumili ka ng El Grande Americano.
you also get the experience box, which again, pinalit ko na siya sa Google Chromecast ko because it's so fast, so good. And also you get the new modem as well as part of that package. So again, support Converge. Converge number one.
Iba raw yung champion nila sa Blast TV. Balita ko.
Gago.
Iba yung champion nila sa Blast TV.
Oh my.
Inagalit mo na naman si Emil, Nate. Yan, mapapaplay natin tayo.
You gotta update
I
that,
will
right?
I will give Tap DMV some credit though, because they have found themselves on Samsung's live TVs. Like if you have a Samsung Smart TV, yung Tap channels are actually available live on the TV itself. So nagulat ako bagong addition siya.
You mean?
Without cable, yeah. So basta yung Samsung Smart TV was connected to the internet. You have several different channels that are all accessible live. Kasama na doon yung Tap Sports, Tap Movies, Premier Sports, all the other basic offerings ng Tap DMV.
Pwede na ako manood ng Heroes of Lucha Libre.
Yeah. Or NXT UK.
Hey,
Drive.
NXT UK.
Nice. Oh. Pati yung Drive. Oh, nakalimutan ko na yung trailer kasi I haven't watched on Blast TV in 3 months.
Sorry, Blast TV.
The EuroLeague, di ba?
Oh, EuroLeague. Paano na yung mga profilers sa Anadolis,
Oh, speaking of TV, we also have it on good authority that gumagana na yung Spot TV now. So people have been able to sign up from here, from the Philippines. So since next week there's an AWP pay-per-view, you might want to get on that.
Good.
All right, let's see kung gagana siya or if Emil will go on another Emil Nate rant. All right, let's get to some wrestling talk. We're going to start outside the ring, where over the last couple of days, we got the news that TNA had a bunch of firings. So, kasama sa mga na-let go, the biggest name is Gail Kim, longtime producer, 7-time Knockouts champion, big proponent of the Knockouts division for obvious reasons. In addition to Gail Kim, finire din nila yung kanilang Senior Vice President of Content Distribution and Marketing, who's Ariel Schnerer, their Chief Revenue Officer, Rob Kligman, and somebody from their digital team, Michael Shuchenko. So, obviously, for us, yung pinakakilalang pangalan dito si Gail Kim, and, because of the partnership between WWE and TNA, all I'll say is that it's a huge loss, obviously. Wherever Gail Kim lands, she'll be a hell of a get because of the improvements that she's brought onto women's wrestling, both as a performer and as a producer. But man, what a loss for TNA with to no longer have Gail Kim on the team.
Yeah, even the roster themselves think it's a big loss and a weird decision to make to let go of Gail Kim, because she was apparently one of the glue girls of the company. And at this point, it's fair to expect both major league companies vying for her services in free agency.
Yeah, and even before the women's revolution, TNA is probably one of the promotions out there that really promotes women's wrestling. It's because of Gail Kim and her contributions to the promotion, contributions to women's wrestling overall. So, this is a big loss for TNA. Parang the reactions online were also the same as when they let go of Scott D'Amore. So he's also one of the key guys there. So I don't know what they're doing. Maybe they're like revamping how they do things. But yeah, it's a big loss. But I think she won't be jobless for long. Like with how she worked, with how she was able to uplift TNA. There's definitely a company out there is willing to get her.
Yeah, so yung report ni SRS on Fightful Select, which was reposted by John Alba of Sports Illustrated, is that walang non-compete si Gail Kim. So she can work anywhere else in wrestling immediately.
Yeah.
Hey.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to say it's a lock for which company. I say both companies should be trying to get her.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
All right. Let's move on to more news from outside the ring. Saraya has announced that she has left AEW. So this was reported by, of all outlets, Entertainment Weekly, which released an article about Saraya and her new podcast, Rule Breakers with Saraya, which drops tomorrow. So if not tonight, then tomorrow Manila time. And dun niya binrake yung announcement na she's no longer with the company, and she had nothing but nice things to say about Tony Khan and the company, and she assured her fans na there wasn't any bad blood. And yung binigay lang niya na reason is that she couldn't see herself fitting in creatively with anyone or with any story going on in AEW right now. So rather than take up time and space from someone else who she feels might be more deserving, and she also decided na stepping back might be a better option.
That's really unselfish for her. I don't think she's washed. I mean, I don't think she's done. Bata pa rin siya. And I think she's got a lot of gas in the tank. But it is nice of her to assess the situation and say, okay, di na ako bagay dito, so I'm leaving. Probably that means, she's obviously, casting her rod to WWE. I think the only reason why she went to AEW in the first place was because WWE wouldn't clear her for competition. And now that there's a different regime, tapos she's proven herself to be healthy. Mas babagay pa rin siya sa sports entertainment focused style of the WWE, despite being the anti-diva, ironically, diba? So it's good that she didn't burn any bridges. She doesn't hate anyone from AEW. A lot of people should have that same sense of self-awareness and maturity to approach that situation and react accordingly. And I can't wait to see where she goes next.
Yeah, all the best wishes for Paige. Can I call her Paige?
Sure. Sige.
Okay. But yung sinabi ni Rod is pretty much everything that he said was correct. I mean, very unselfish of her to think of her to think of that way of her reasoning nung kanyang pagalis and it, I think it won't be too long before we see her again in WWE.
Mm-hmm. All right, we'll take a break. When we come back, we'll go through the highlights from Monday Night Raw, including John Cena's plans to ruin wrestling for all of us. But first, a quick break from our other podcasts right here on the Pod Network. Let's talk about the highlights from Monday Night Raw, and we'll start with John Cena, who said that he wants to ruin wrestling for all of us. Sabi niya, he will make us forget about Ric Flair, win his 17th World Championship, and then retire with it. Kasi raw binastos natin yung spinner belt, his greatest creation from 2005.
I like this promo a lot better after last week.
Why?
He went on a rant defending the spinner belt. That was the most unhinged thing he could say. And you saw from the heel turn. Like, I don't want his feelings. Yes, you can anchor the whole turn on his feelings, but he ended up sounding weird last week. And now he just spouted random shit about what he wanted to do. He got mad over the reaction to the spinner belt. Tapos he said he was doing his own Summer of Punk. Like, I want him to do whatever the fuck he wants because he is hurt. Like, kulang na sabihin niya na I was carrying all this baggage with me. And he kind of did by going back to the spinner belt. And I like that. I still wanted to hear him talk about the deal with The Rock. And I still think that it is the elephant in the room, to borrow the cliche.
Yeah.
And medyo na overshadow lang siya by the actual, shock of the fact that John Cena turned heel. Pero ito pa rin eh. I still want him to establish na, okay, I got hurt, so I'm hurting you back. And that's what he's saying. So I wanted to
nagmamaktol siya.
Yeah, I just wanted to tie it back to The Rock. Kasi where is The Rock now? Diba?
Yeah.
Don't tell me you want us to forget that The Rock wanted Cody Rhodes to be his champion. Diba? So that's still a part of the story I need to see fleshed out and addressed. So yun lang ang kulang sa akin. But I like the slight course correction and making it less. It's still about his feelings, yes, but he's expressing them now in an unhinged way.
When I was watching this promo and he said na he wants to ruin wrestling, ang naisip ko bigla, is he gonna win the title and then put it in the briefcase?
You might as well reference it, diba?
Is he gonna pull off a Death Rider story here? It's definitely an improvement from last week, pero yun nga eh. Yun pa rin yung hinahanap ko, yung connection niya kay Rock.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually saw some reports online na next week is his final appearance until WrestleMania. So
what?
If I don't know if it's true, but if that's the case, then of course, I don't know, ano mangyayari, di ba? Or maybe The Rock is gonna take his place on the bill, di ba? So
doesn't make sense.
They definitely need to get to it faster,
yeah,
in my opinion. Kasi yun na eh, hinahanap na siya ng mga tao eh. Last week was okay kasi it's his first outing as a
He still did take 2 weeks to address it.
Eto, let me ask you guys this. What if him not being available for the last 3 weeks before Mania is him showing you the opposite of hustle?
Yun nga eh. When he turned heel, I said, it
would be great. It would be great if he did the whole via satellite thing that Rock used to do on him.
Like,
Ito, another question for you guys. What do you think about yung delivery style ni Cena ngayon ng promos? It's straight out of 2008 Jericho where he'll speak very slowly so you understand and it's in hushed tones.
Yeah, it was better than last week. Because last week he was still kind of himself, if you know what I mean, if you spell on cooking. Ngayon medyo may deliberate intention to play a character, to be the guy who ruins wrestling. And I like that. I think he's learning as he goes along.
All right. Okay, ito naman. Let's get to the Women's World Championship picture. So apparently, Adam Pearce knows how contracts work. Dapat lang. He's the general manager of Monday Night Raw. And what he did was, okay, Bianca Belair, you be the special guest referee. You be in the middle of Io versus Rhea next week.
No, you bury the lead. He said that Rhea's signature on the contract is meaningless.
Yeah.
Which is a big departure from how we thought the story was going to work and how it happened 11 years ago. 21 years ago, sorry. So that is a huge improvement because somebody's paying attention to either someone said, okay, people are going to call this out, or they heard that people were calling them out over what happened last week. So, buti naman may natauhan dun sa creative. That's the kind of storytelling, and that's the kind of adjustment that I like. But yeah, I now want to know how they'll end up getting to the triple threat, because at this point they're still trying to delay the inevitable, diba? To build it up.
Yep.
So, obviously, Adam Pearce is going to crash out and eventually make it a triple threat. But I want to see how it gets there.
Yep. When I watched this, ang naisip ko, shouldn't it be Rhea versus Bianca for the right to challenge Io for the title?
No,
Rhea's owed a rematch because she's the former champion.
Yeah.
So bumalik na pala yung rematch clause sa WWE.
Okay. Hindi naman bumalik yung rematch clause. It's just that Adam Pearce was gonna give it to her anyway.
Okay. I swear, if they have Io lose next week, I'll crash out.
You heard it here.
I'll crash out. But
I love Io Sky, but now I kind of want to see this happen just for Emil Nate to crash out.
No, it has to be a triple threat. If they made all efforts to include her in the story.
Pa rin, pero talo pa rin si Io.
Basta I want to get that triple threat.
Sure,
and if they teased us all the way here and not deliver, then I'm gonna crash out.
Kala ko may dadagdag ko pa yun, parang I'm gonna destroy my mic or some shit.
Di naman.
Or you're gonna pull a Poy Aram and punch the wall. No more Poy Aram jokes. Apparently he's going through mental health stuff.
Yeah.
All right. More Monday Night Raw highlights. Jey Uso tripped during his match on Monday Night Raw, yung tag team match between the Usos and A-Town Down Under. Now everybody online has an opinion over Jey Uso's wrestling skills.
Before we proceed,
God.
before we proceed, I want to know if anyone watching us right now and listening to this right now thinks Jey Uso is not a good wrestler because he botched two things, and one of them is one of those botches was, deliberate. So come on, guys. Here's the thing about this whole discourse. As a wrestler, I no longer put stock in what fans or who fans think or what fans think makes for a bad wrestler.
Yeah.
Say somebody said, I forgot who, but somebody said it around the time that Jay did his botch dive, which, as Jimmy said, he'd been doing for 15 years. Somebody said that fans don't understand how good WWE wrestlers really are to be on TV. The fact that one botch can make you think that Jey Uso is now suddenly not worthy of a main event spot at WrestleMania is, really indicative of how fans approach the sport. So Jey Uso isn't bad. not a terrible wrestler by any means. And botches happen to everyone. It's just that WWE and AEW guys are so good that when they botch, doon mo makita yung ano, doon mo na makikita na tao pala sila, na nagkakamali pala sila, di ba? So, if you're here listening to us, watching us, and thinking that Jey Uso is bad, I want you to check yourself. He didn't get to that spot by being terrible. I've seen terrible. I'm an indie wrestler. I've seen terrible. I know what terrible looks like. Jey Uso and a whole bunch of guys you see on TV, even guys you think are bad, like Baron Corbin. Those guys are not terrible. People botch. And I beg you to disavow yourselves of the illusions that these guys are bad. Because they would not be getting main event spot. Even Jinder Mahal would not be getting a main event spot if he was bad.
I always find it weird when fans or non-wrestlers would call out bad wrestlers because of a botch or something. It's like it's the same energy as you watching on the TV and you see a basketball player miss it. Sobrang bobo naman yan. Like, dude, you're not on the same level as that guy to say that he's bobo. So it's the same thing here. Like, God, this whole Jey Uso discourse has gone out of whack here. People were mad that he won the Royal Rumble, and now people are saying he's a bad wrestler. And this guy was over. This guy was super over last year, and he deserved the Rumble win. He deserved going on this storyline, which I think they are progressing now. You know, they finally found that hook, you know, to the story that we have been waiting for since the Rumble win. And people are still, you know, still shitting on Jey Uso, still shitting on the story. I just don't get what people want, honestly.
Mm-hmm. As a rule, man's a fool, always wants it hot when it's cool, diba? So,
yeah,
can't please everybody.
Exactly.
All right, last highlight from Monday Night Raw. Have you had your El Grande Americano?
Zapato. Jesus fucking Christ. People are going insane over El Grande Americano when the rest of us understand what the gimmick is trying to do. And people claim that they understand what the gimmick is trying to do, but then get mad at the angle and thinking that it's for real. Like, WWE is not pushing Chad Gable in a mask in earnest. Diba? This is Chad Gable in a mask.
Yeah.
Guys, what are we doing here? This is Chad Gable in a mask. Of course people are saying that they're disrespecting Lucha Libre. If they were disrespecting Lucha Libre, Pentagon would not be on the main event of Raw. Diba?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And Rey Mysterio and Dragon Lee would not be in the following segment after the El Grande Americano package, wondering what that was all about. Guys, they're not doing this seriously. This is a heel character designed to humiliate Chad Gable. If anyone should be mad, it's Chad Gable fans.
Yeah.
It's the best. I had so much fun calling the El Grande Americano match, doing the vignette. So, eto, kwento ko. So, my dad saw the vignette, right? Yung Tagalog version na pinost natin sa page. And he sent me a message asking, so this El Grande Americano guy, he's now in WWE? I love my dad. I love it so much. Made my day. I had to explain to him. I had to deconstruct El Grande Americano for my dad.
I just hate that there are people actually thinking that Triple H is being racist to Mexicans in Lucha Libre.
Yeah.
Lucha Libre is not a race. You cannot be racist to Lucha Libre.
I think the right word is disrespectful. Disrespectful daw siya. You know, and the Gulf of America, people got legit mad because of that little detail.
I don't understand how we can boo John Cena, Dominic Mysterio, and the New Day for being asshole characters, but then take El Grande Americano seriously. How are you able to do that? Why are you doing this? You're not supposed to be calling the WWE racist. You're supposed to be booing Chad Gable for for being a fake luchador. I'm not trying to shit on people who are mad, who are quote unquote woke. That's not what this is. This isn't about sensitivity. It is about not comprehending what you're watching on the television properly. Like, this is media. You're supposed to consume it a certain way to understand what they're doing, but these people are not doing that. It's okay to be sensitive. It's okay to be woke, but understand what you're watching first before you get mad, before you get angry.
Ano to? Lack of media literacy?
Yeah.
Wow.
They don't understand for some reason. And yeah, again, I go back to why do you get to boo Dominic Mysterio and the New Day for being terrible characters, and then all of a sudden play along with the fact that El Grande Americano is a deliberate caricature by a heel character.
I love it. I just love everything about El Grande Americano. How, ano mo yung parang napaka, I guess napaka-hammy nung portrayal niya na some people actually believe that this guy came from Mexico and really learned the secrets of lucha libre and everything.
And that they're disrespecting the luchadors that WWE signed by pushing him.
Oh my. It's a comedy gimmick.
Meant to meant to highlight the actual luchadors. Jesus Christ.
That was funny. That was fun. That was a vintage Romorant right there.
For those who always looks forward to my Play Native, that's the originator right there.
Yeah.
Viva El Grande Americano!
No, I love El Grande Americano. I'm not hating him.
Yeah.
Venti!
Yeah, that was a Starbucks joke. Yun nga, narinig ko siya sa commentary when Pat McAfee said he rather have Venti.
A Venti
Oh, okay. It's a play on Starbucks.
Apparently, understanding El Grande Americano is a tall task.
For some people.
Oh, gago. Jesus Christ.
All right, let's take a break. When we come back, we'll talk NXT and AEW. But first, a quick word from our other podcasts right here on the Pod Network. All right, we're back. Ito, let's just address yung comment from Isaiah, who wants Pat McAfee to support El Grande Americano. Sana raw he plays his part as a heel. I'm not sure Pat McAfee is straight up a heel commentator. Ano siya eh, Pat is just Pat. He likes who he likes.
Exactly.
No, I mean, I think it would be in line for him to support El Grande Americano since he shat on Canada for booing the national anthem.
He's a patriotic si Pat. And the gimmick itself is like patriotic. So I see where Isaiah is going here. Yeah.
You want to hear a heel commentator support El Grande Americano? Listen to Tagalog audio.
Kailangan ba ng VPN yan, sir?
So fun. All right, let's go to NXT where Stephanie Vaquer did double duty as a double champion and successfully defended both of her titles. And now she's got challengers left and right. Looks like Jordan Grace wants to be next in line, but not if Kelani Jordan and Lola Vice have anything to say about it.
I thought she was going to lose. Sorry, go ahead.
Good. Yun nga, I thought she was going to lose one of the belts, but after yung episode ng NXT, I'm thinking she's not gonna get to stand and deliver as double champ.
She shouldn't. Kasi let's not do the double champ thing too much.
Let's also not kill her.
Yeah, I actually thought that they were gonna do like a actual back-to-back match. But
okay.
Yeah. But I guess may limits din pala yung kakayahan niya. Let's hope that with a month left until Stand and Deliver, she loses it sometime because somebody else does need that rub.
Mhm. Another question from Isaiah in the comments. My debate sa X, considered bang double champ si Mandy Rose? All right, I think I can explain this. Mandy Rose did hold both NXT Women's and NXT UK Women's Championship titles, but she unified them.
Unified, yeah.
So in the process, hindi siya double champ. Like Stephanie Vaquer holds 2 actual active singles championships.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, sure.
Yes, yeah.
For a brief
It's
moment.
more similar to yung when Becky Lynch won the 2 titles ng it's not, that's a different case pala. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mali ako.
Jeff, who's back in the comments. He's been out of the loop
Hey,
for some
Jeff.
time. Welcome back, Jeff. Yes, Jordan Grace is full-time. She is with NXT for real, for real.
Di pa rin nasanay. Akala ko pa, iniisip ko pa rin sa utak ko na TNA import lang siya.
Hindi siya import. Naturalized na siya.
Yeah, I know.
Local na siya.
Local.
Naturalized na siya.
Yung pala yung tawag.
Local na si Jordan Grace. If you know, you know. All right, Andre Chase had a match this week against Ethan Page, and it looks like he's being put in these situations unwittingly because of Cale Dixon and Uriah Connors. And do you like this direction na parang yung endgame is magre-reform yung Chase U, tas itong dalawa yung bago niyang students?
I just don't see why the group had to disband. Diba?
Yeah,
if you weren't going to do anything with Andre Chase, if you weren't going to move him up, then why disband? And why let go of Duke Hudson? Diba? And where is Thea Hale? Diba?
I am actually surprised that Andre Chase is still in NXT. Because I thought them breaking up the group was a signal that, okay, he's going to move up to the main roster and form a new Chase U in the main roster. But instead, they're doing this story. So, ang endgame nito, babalik na din yung Chase U, but with different characters now. So, are we accepting the fact that maybe Andre Chase is not going to move up to the main roster? He's going to be a forever NXT guy?
Yeah, I guess. Because he's the most experienced out of everyone in NXT right now. And at this point, if you're not gonna bring him up, I guess he's there forever.
Oh no.
Unless you're gusto niya.
I guess. I mean, pwede pa rin magbago, diba? Like assuming na today, in 2025, this is what Andre Chase wants. Those are the same sentiments that Tommaso Ciampa once said on the record. Na he didn't want to leave NXT, and now, he's on the main roster.
Yeah, I suppose.
Yep.
It makes sense, I guess.
Things could change. Andre Chase, by the way, is only our age. So, medyo bata-bata pa siya.
He is our age, yes, but I've been following him since the late 2000s.
He's been in the industry for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, I'm curious to see where this goes. I am extra invested in Uriah Connors because for those who don't know, he is the younger son of Fit Finlay. So he's the younger brother of Dave Finlay. I'm very excited to see what Uriah Connors does, especially since mas siya yung promotor than Cale Dixon.
Yeah.
He's got Scrappy-Doo energy.
Yeah, in that segment that with Ethan Page, siya yung siya yung initiator eh. So,
isn't it crazy how Regal's kid and Finley's kid are in NXT?
I know, right?
Yeah.
Santino's kid rin.
Oh, yeah, Santino's kid. Yeah.
And The Rock's kid. We're
getting old.
Back check. Dapat may weekly segment tayo, back check, or nag-maintenance meds ka na ba? Did you know?
We have a whole channel to it on our Discord.
Ayun, another benefit of the
Pasakitan kami ng likod sa Discord. Right, before we go to AEW, ito may comment from Paolo who's in the Facebook comments. Sabi niya, regarding John Cena, theory ko na may redemption after nung betrayal phase. Tapos, solidify niya yung wrestling as a cultural thing and we will live forever and ever, passing the torch, parang ginawa ng apostles kay Jesus. I can be wrong, but it's the greatest story ever told.
Interesting theory there.
Yeah, it's possible. Anything's possible. I think he has to win the championship first.
Yep. And especially if he's really gonna retire, because I after the heel turn, I'm having doubts. If he's gonna retire this year, then definitely before he ends his career, he's gonna turn back to a baby face.
I had my doubts din una when he first turned heel, but I think he was really set on retiring.
Mm-hmm. It would be fun, no, if Cena actually did pull off a CM Punk. I mean, when the Summer of Punk happened in 2011, Punk was back in like 3 weeks.
Yeah, it was bad.
And with Cena's schedule right now, I think it's very realistic that he takes the title and we don't see him until SummerSlam. We'll be back in Brock Lesnar territory.
People will go crazy by having when they have Jey Uso as their only world champion.
Oh,
yeah. Diba, imagine Money in the Bank happening in June tapos si Cena yung WWE champion pero absentee champion siya. Mababaliw kayong lahat, pucha.
Oh.
Then you're gonna hate Cena. All right, crossing over to AEW. We'll start with MJF, who seemed to accept yung offer ni MVP to join the Hurt Syndicate, but Bobby Lashley and Shelton Benjamin do not like it.
Yeah. Why bringing the white boy in? It's interesting. I actually did want to see where this goes, but it is strange for Shelton and Bobby to protest it. And ano to, like, does that make them faces?
I think they've been faces for a while.
Yeah,
I guess.
People are chanting they hurt people, tapos parang, tinatanggap lang din nila yung love from the fans.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, it's not like they're outright heels in the last few months. I mean, they're just ass kickers, and they don't like someone. They hurt people. Emil. Yeah, and MJ, they had a backstage promo later on the show where they kind of like explain why they don't like MJF to be in the group. So. And with MJF's history with factions, it kind of makes sense that they don't want that baggage into their group. So, but this is interesting. I want to see where this goes. There's a possibility that MJF can also form his own faction to go up against the Hurt Business or the Hurt Syndicate. Sorry.
I don't think he was gonna go up against the Hurt Syndicate. He wanted the Hurt Syndicate kasi nga kailangan niya ng tropa eh, diba? Kasi going at it alone, while favorable to him, doesn't play well when you've got odds from the Death Riders who are a lot, diba? Yun yung sinasabi niya. So I don't think it's specifically against the Hurt Syndicate, but I guess now that's gonna be the next feud, diba?
Mm-hmm. So I appreciated yung, I guess, the respect for the continuity that Lashley and Shelton's characters showed. Na they had to remind MVP na, hey, you realize who you're trying to bring in, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I like that a lot. I enjoy that a
lot. Very interesting thing here. Obviously, some people might call attention or draw attention to yung the race factor of it all.
No, I don't think they
MJF is
a
white guy, and this is a group of black men.
They made a good job of not making it that way.
Yeah.
Buti
na lang kupal sa MJF.
What if, to address the race allegations, next week MVP brings in an Asian member of the Hurt Syndicate?
Shibata.
Buti pa pala yung ops. They're a multiracial trio.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's Hogan's not POC, but anyway. All right. Let's talk about Nick Wayne, who had his own backstage segment, and sabi niya, gets niya na bakit pumalpak si Christian Cage dun sa cash-in niya. And
then
sabi niya,
bakit ginawa ni Christian?
Bakit ginawa ni Christian yun? Then sabi niya, he has a plan. He'll wait to reveal it, but he has a plan.
Yeah, that's pretty interesting. I like it when people are self-aware about dumb stuff that's happening to them. And this is definitely a good example. Like a lot of this week's episode of Dynamite actually is pretty smart. Like, again, somebody was finally paying attention to the details and they brought them up in a good way. So, buti na lang may backup plan yung patriarchy for their fuck up at Revolution. So I like this where this is going. It really Nick Wayne was talking in a way that he was implying that he was going to be better than Christian. So I like where this is going, and I hope they don't fuck it up like they did that cash in.
What do you think the plan is?
Maghintay ka.
I'm definitely curious.
Do I look like Nick Wayne to you, Emil?
Definitely, I'm curious to see what this is. Medyo malabo pa siya for me, but because of that, I'm gonna watch out for it next week.
Mm-hmm. I kind of appreciate how iba rin yung reactions in Mother Wayne and Kip Sabian. Like, Mother Wayne obviously is very supportive of her kid. And then there's Kip Sabian na parang, pucha, anong ginagawa nitong mokong na to?
Yeah, that was really good. It was acted really well.
Yeah, good stuff, good stuff. All right, one more break and then we'll go to therapy with Rated FTR. But first, one more message from our other podcasts right here on the Pod Network. All right, last stretch of the show. We'll start with the talk therapy session for Rated FTR, where Tony Schiavone tried his best to play therapist to these three adults, and it made me miss Dr. Shelby.
I enjoyed every bit of this segment. Kasi, anyway, they explained themselves pretty well. Like, Dax was uncharacteristically polite and uncharacteristically going through the therapy talk. And everyone explained their motivations properly. And Cope defended himself from allegations to Dax na, di ko naman kayo kinuha from your tag title chase, diba? To help me against the Death Riders. Diba? So it shouldn't be my fault that you guys stepped away from that to help me. That was pretty good. And then I like how Cash is the neutral one here, who has ties to both guys, and they brought in their real life history, and that was a really nice touch that I enjoyed. And that doesn't mean, I think, that they're still going after the Death Riders, but I don't think they're going to win against the Death Riders. So I am now again interested to see where this goes. I like that it was a good way to segue from the Cope loss twice, the championship losses that he suffered against John Moxley, heading into this story with FTR.
You're on mute, Emil.
Imagine that wrestlers can be human beings and hash down their issues in 5 minutes instead of going on 30-minute monologues in front of live crowds every week.
Yes. Sorry, I want to talk about that real quick. I enjoyed that because even though yes, cinema, the Bloodline stuff is cinema, it's an epic masterpiece. Sometimes you just have to get to the point, and sometimes you just need to do that in 5 minutes. And that's what's beautiful about what they did here, and a lot of the segments did on this episode of Dynamite. Like Raw started with 20 minutes of John Cena and Cody Rhodes, diba? That didn't need to happen, and I feel like AEW managed their time a lot better.
Yep.
You know what's funny? Yung sinabi ni Emil na, kalahin mo yun, wrestlers can actually just have a straight-up conversation and hash out their issues. Yeah, diba? What an example for the scene here. We could have used that shit 5 years ago. Who would have thought?
Oh, boy.
Also, holy shit, in a few months, it'll be 5 years since the Exodus.
Oh, wow. Time flies.
Yep.
Indeed. Indeed. All right, ito na. Last bit that we got to talk about here. It's the Swerve and Mox segment where Swerve got on Mox's level and basically said, John Moxley, you are a poser.
Yeah, so I had a sudden realization. It came to me while I was watching Mox cut a promo on Swerve. And I realized that Mox is doing the exact same thing Bray Wyatt likes to do, which is to ramble on endlessly about weird shit na sila lang nakaintindi.
Wow.
But the problem is Bray Wyatt was cool because he did all these horror effects, these special effects, while John Moxley kept the championship in a briefcase. That's the difference between the two. But it's the same. Like, I couldn't make heads or tails about what Moxley was telling Swerve. And then Swerve just goes up and calls Mox out on his bullshit and says, okay, di ka naman totoong dangerous eh. Diba? Like, you're not like me, diba? Not like how I am and how I've bled buckets and stuff like that, and how I've won Texas death matches. So he's proving how legit he is, whereas Mox is just playing John Moxley on TV. So I thought it was pretty effective, and that was pretty good. And at this point, if you're not giving Swerve the championship back, then what are we doing here?
Yeah. After that promo, I said, okay, it's time to give Swerve the title again. Because he exposed John Moxley in a way that no one has ever done to him ever since winning the title. Like, pinuntirya ni Swerve yung emotion eh. He did an emotional attack on John Moxley and it worked. So say, but yung sa sinabi ni Ro na John Moxley, like, his thing is to ramble on. Kaya minsan talaga pag nanonood ako ng promo niya, pasok sa isa, labas sa isang tenga eh. Like, he just goes on and on and on about things, and Swerve called him out on it. And rightfully so. So, can't wait for Dynasty here. And I like that he calls this era as the Dynasty era, and he's the guy leading the revolution. So, again, I will be mad if Swerve didn't win at Dynasty, honestly.
I think that's the last straw.
Yeah.
That Tony Khan gets. Because if you weren't building up to Swerve and then you had Swerve cut that promo, I think, and it's not that people are gonna walk out on AEW, but I think the shark will definitely have been jumped.
Yeah.
Wow. In this case, now I want Mox to win.
Why?
Chaos. Some people just want to watch the world burn.
No. Emil, remember who he works for.
Oh my God.
But also, I was watching that promo, and I enjoyed yung pagpasok ni Willow dito, and then Swerve was telling Mox na parang, oh, for once, you're actually going toe-to-toe with someone who's smarter than you.
Yeah.
Parang, oh nga naman, why did no one ever think to get someone like Willow on their side to neutralize Marina Shafir? Like, if you can't put your hands on Marina Shafir, why didn't anyone before Cope and Swerve get Willow on board?
Wala. Kasi they weren't thinking about how to beat the Death Riders. But Cope did. Diba?
It took months before they could find yung someone na pang kontra kay Marina eh. So, that one is true. Why did it take so long, diba? And but yeah, now we're here. It's better late than never, I guess.
Yeah, I just want the end game visual of everyone taking out the Death Riders in the final match.
Yeah, so sina OC, Darby, Brian, si Jose Rizal.
That's why I think the Death Riders are also losing the trios titles at Dynasty, contrary to
I would hope
what
so.
Ro is thinking. Kasi,
Dynasty ba yung match? Hindi ba next week?
No, it's Dynasty. They scheduled it for Dynasty.
Okay.
The six man.
Right.
So yeah, that's gonna be the start. Losing one of the titles. I say they had a grip on the titles for a long time now, and they haven't really defended it much. So plus, parang consolation na rin kay Cope. If you're not winning the world championship, at least, okay, here's the trios championship for you.
So, I don't hate it.
Lalabas si Andres Bonifacio para neutralize yung si Marina Shafir. Right. Anything else from this week in wrestling that you guys want to get into na hindi natin napag-usapan for one reason or another?
I think we covered everything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
good?
Everything. Yep.
All right. Before we get out of here, let's get to some plugs. Emil, may playthrough ka ba na isi-stream sa Facebook page this weekend?
Yes, the continuation of the island mode. Sobrang haba pa rin ng island mode. I thought it was going to be a quick one. So, part three of the island mode is coming this Saturday, same time on the Wrestling Podcast Facebook page.
Yeah, thank you to everyone who's been watching the streams. We just want to play wrestling games for you guys.
Baka susunod, retro wrestling games naman, like SmackDown vs. Raw, No Mercy, yung mga ganon. So, we'll definitely look forward to that.
Or, we could probably bring those quiz nights. So if you want to play video games with us after quiz night, then I think we can make that happen, diba? I think we did make that happen last time.
Yes. No. We had our own tournament. And people are actually asking for a 2K25 tournament already. So I know people are... We're going to make that happen because people have demanded it.
Sa bawal gamitin si Roman Reigns.
We'll add new rules. We'll add new rules.
Bawal si Roman Reigns, bawal din yung mga naka-max out na create a superstar. Yung mga my player.
Big X. Big X specifically asked me if we can let them use max out costs.
No. we cannot. Kawawa naman yung gustong gumamit kay Akira Tozawa. Ano ba kayo?
I'm gonna try to make a special award for people who use weaker characters.
All right. Ooh. Let's give that a name. All right, ikaw, Ro, what do you have going on?
Wala naman. But guys, Master Clash World Underground Wrestling Philippines happening next week. Just go to dexcon.helixpay.ph. If you buy a ticket to Master Clash, you get preferential rates for Dakila. Dexcon Dakila happening on May 18 with Zack Sabre Jr. and ELP. That's the news we have to talk about. ELP coming to the Philippines. Dexcon is also available on Triller TV Plus, TrillerTV.com, or the Triller TV app. Only $2.99. That is less than 200 pesos, guys. Guys, fucking buy that. You get access to Dexcon and a whole bunch of other big indies from around the world. Progress, GCW, Deadlock Pro Wrestling, and a whole bunch of other promotions. Your favorite AEW stars and some WWE stars available then for only $2.99. Go check that out. TrillerTV.com.
All right. On my end naman, plugging Now Steaming. This week's episode features Rebecca Chua Unsu, a veteran Chinoy actor and producer who talks about her revenge film, her Locket. Ay, di pala. This week's episode is about Liv Tanong, a friend of mine who came out as a trans woman, and how that transition was received by her family, her community, and how growing up in an all-boys school, same one I went to, Xavier, shaped her journey of coming out. So go check that out. Now Steaming, a Chinoy podcast. It's available on Spotify as well as the Wrestling Podcast. Make sure to follow the show at Wrestling2X Pod, at Wrestling Podcast, depending on whichever social media app you're on. Individually, we are at _Stancy, at Roaswar, at EML_Meister, and at Chino Supersized. Speaking of Chino, nagka-crowdfund pa rin tayo for $25,000 para makapag-lunch siya with John Cena at may uwi niya yung recording of Cena putting us over. For the right amount of money, baka gawin pa ni John Cena in his heel voice. You are listening to the Wrestling Podcast. Diba? Sobrang stig nun.
Sino may extra 1.4 million dyan?
Oh, drop nyo na lang dito. At least kami may accountability pa kami. Transparent kami sa ganyan. Alright? So, send it our way. $25,000 lang naman. If we all chip in $1 each, then there will only be 24,997 of us remaining. All right. Stick around for yung our WWP Reminisce Over episode dropping on Monday, where we reminisce about the heist of the century, WrestleMania 31. That's happening next week, right before our weekend reacts and our picks of the week. Thank you to Babyface producer Jasper and everyone over at the Pod Network for always putting us over and making us sound good. And thank you for catching another episode of the Wrestling Podcast. For Romoran and Emil Nate, I'm Stan C, reminding everyone to stay safe, stay cool, and don't be a dick. Wrestling Podcast. Out. Later, Outcasts.
Peace.